Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. My name's Marisa Hann, and I'm running for president of the Student Programming Council because I can make a change. As this year's Dooley's Week chair and last year's Homecoming and Taste of Emory chair, I have the necessary programming experience to lead this organization through demanding and ambiguous times, a skill that is necessary of the SPC president. I want to increase transparency, expand student participation, broaden the number of signature events that SPC holds, and develop collaborations and partnerships with a multitude of organizations throughout Emory, an initiative I already began this year with Dooley's Week. I want to do this by developing an online communication network, initiating weekly public office hours so I can chat with all of you, and upgrading the recruitment process to be fairer to the individuals applying. I've always been passionate about receiving student feedback, advice, and criticisms, which is why this year we implemented the Dooley's Week Think Tank and SPC survey, two initiatives I really want to see move forward next year. I want you all to be a part of the conversation, and if you elect me as your SPC president, you will be. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Marisa Sabnis. I am the current Vice President of the Student Programming Council, and it would be an absolute honor to serve as your next president of SPC. My experience is pretty varied in the organization. As a freshman, I was a new member. As a sophomore, I took on two positions. I was a co-chair of special events, so basically all events that SPC hosted that weren't related to Dooley's Week or Homecoming Week. And I also served as technology chair, so sort of managing the promotion of all of these events that SPC hosted. I feel like this variety of experience has definitely prepared me for the role of this position as president, and I've learned a lot through my past 2 years. My platform is pretty varied as well. There's definitely an emphasis on inclusion within Emory's campus, as well as more outreach through direct publicity efforts, in addition to co-programming with more organizations on campus. I look forward to discussing these topics more during the debate. So, to be blunt, it's really no secret that SPC is predominantly white, Greek, and upper middle class, and that's really not representative of Emory as a general population. Not only is SPC supposed to represent the undergraduate population, but it should represent a lot of the graduate population as well. And I think there's definite room for SPC to improve on that aspect. We can do that just by reaching out to more graduate students and graduate programs in general. I oversaw the recruitment process as vice president this year. I worked really closely with the president and upperclassmen of the organization to put the recruitment process together. But I definitely saw that there was room for improvement with direct outreach to graduate students, as well as students of religious, ethnic, and racial groups on campus that were definitely underrepresented before. So honestly, I think direct outreach to these groups via email, via banners on campus, because those proved to be really successful. That sort of direct outreach will definitely get more of an application count that we're looking for, which will lead to a more diversely represented Student Programming Council.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the big parts of my platform, and one of the things I've really tried to accomplish with Dooley's Week this year, is getting other organizations involved in the week. Dooley's Week has been known in the past to not be super inclusive to students, whether it's hosting an event during times when classes are, or hosting different artists or comedians that offend different groups. And to me, that's not okay. I want every student at Emory to feel comfortable at our events, which is why this year I made the direct outreach to these organizations on campus saying, hey, listen, I know that you guys have some students that might not have felt comfortable at our events in the past, and I want to put something on that will make them feel comfortable at our event. So I've been working directly with outside organizations such as BSA, LSO, the Office of International Student Life, and more to really make sure that those students feel safe and comfortable at our events, and that they have something that they can come to and enjoy just as much as everyone else on campus. So I think continuing with that next year and in the rest of the events that SPC holds, just making sure that we reach out to everyone and make sure that everyone knows that there's a positive and safe environment for them.
I think in SPC's demographic, Representation, it definitely doesn't represent the entirety of Emory's University, but I think in our skills, we very much are representative of what a good programming council should do. We have people who are strong in the technological aspect, people who are strong at logistics, people who are strong at event planning, and people who are just good personalities on campus that get the word out about SPC events. I do understand what Dustin is saying in that there is a concern about SPC being homogenous, and that's something I really do wish to try to improve as president through direct marketing outreach efforts to different groups on campus.
So I completely agree with what Rhea just said. In SPC, it's broken up so that there's the Dooley's Week Committee, the Special Events Committee, Homecoming Committee, Publicity Committee, and all of those committees have a place on them for each different individual member to be on and to let their strengths show. So basically, I guess to answer your question with the homogeneity, everyone has different skills, and while as of now the majority of us are the upper class white Greeks, I do believe that in the future when we reach out and get the different cultural representation, graduate student representation, people from different schools all around campus, that we'll be able to encompass those skills to create an even more diverse community. Yeah, so this is another thing that I've worked directly in combating this year with Dooley's Week. So I actually met with the president of the Graduate Student Government Association and the vice president of programming on GSGA this past week to discuss this. And in the past, what we've done during these Dooley's Week, homecoming, and throughout the year is we'll host a graduate student specific event. However, I don't think that we should only have graduate student specific events. What we need to be doing is reaching out to them and saying, hey, you guys are welcome at all of our events. And I think the way to do that is through increased publicity and by developing an online communication network of different students and different organizations throughout the graduate schools. We will be able to increase the publicity, increase the marketing to let all of those students know about our events so that they're aware of them, and we'll be able to come join and have the great experience as the rest of us are having.
So currently on the Student Programming Council, we have, I believe, 38 members. 2 of them are graduate students. 2 out of the 38. The rest of us are all undergrads. And there's definitely room for improvement in that, clearly. However, I think in terms of direct outreach, we can do a lot better, and I think OrgSync is a godsend for that reason. If you don't have an OrgSync account, get one because it's amazing. OrgSync has a feature where you can, thank you. OrgSync has a feature where you can directly text message people who subscribe to your listserv, I guess in colloquial terms. But that's going to be probably one of the most direct and beneficial outreach efforts to graduate students to get people to come to our events. When you're on your phone, when you get a text message, that's the first thing that pops up in your top screen if you have an iPhone, right? Graduate students will very much react to that because they're on the go just as much as we are. They'll come to SPC events with this direct notification. Marisa's doing a great job with Dooley's Week with getting graduate participation, and I think this direct marketing outreach will have a great impact as well. When I joined this organization, September of my freshman year, I was incredibly nervous about joining it because it was known as a very prestigious organization, almost exclusive to a sense. But it was the reason that I realized I was not transferring out of Emory. This organization made me realize that Emory was home to me, as I think it did for a lot of members, because this isn't the first time I've heard anyone say anything like this. I want to take this organization to the next level by learning what I've learned in the administrative position as vice president and using those skills as your next president of Student Programming Council. With your votes and your support, hopefully that can happen. Thank you.
I just want to first start off by thanking the Wheel for giving us the opportunity to participate in this debate. I want to thank the SPC members who came to support and have given me the confidence to run in this election. And I want to thank you all for sitting here and listening because this is so important. SPC is the love of my life, as sad as that sounds. And I have so much passion for this organization. I can assure you that if you elect me as your president, I will work so hard every single day, assuring that the best programming is brought to you as Emory students. Emory's a special school, and we deserve the best, and I hope that I can bring you the best as your SPC president. Thank you.